Night of Champions week is here. We have 6 incredible contests. They're not all championship matches, which is what I was accustomed to when it comes to Night of Champions. Back in my day at Night of Champions, every single championship was defended. That is not the case this year. We only have 2 championship matchups, but we still have a great card from top to bottom. So I'm going to go through, give you my takes, my opinions, and most importantly, my predictions. Yes, those words all might be synonyms for one another, but nevertheless, thank you for watching. I am Anthony the Mark of It's Real to Us, the wrestling show. Let's talk some wrestling. First up, we have the greatest of all time versus the best in the world. John Cena versus CM Punk. Simply put, this is my head versus my heart match. My head is telling me WWE obviously wants John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. It's a way that they can make Cody Rhodes redeem his WrestleMania loss and reposition him as the face of the company. That is what my head is telling me. But my heart is telling me, forget your head. Let's have CM Punk win the WWE Championship and John Cena's 17th historic championship run and perhaps bring him back to the light. Maybe this is a moment and match that John Cena flips the switch. He forgets about being a heel and he turns into a babyface for the remainder of his farewell tour. But unfortunately, I think it is the brain who is going to be right on this one. So my official prediction for this match is going to be John Cena wins with interference from Seth Rollins. We all know Seth Rollins despises CM Punk and will do whatever it takes to cost CM Punk an opportunity at becoming a world champion. The way I see this match going is John Cena is going to be in trouble. CM Punk is going to have Cena on the ropes. And just when Punk is going to win the championship, Seth Rollins' music will hit. He will come down with his Men in Black, Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker and his Oracle, Paul Heyman. And they will attempt, quote unquote, to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. However, they will be unsuccessful. They won't be able to get the contract off in time. Something will happen and the cash in will be null and void. But this distraction will be enough of an opportunity for John Cena to hit CM Punk with a go to sleep and pick up a win. I think if there was ever a match where an opponent did his rival's finish and got the win, this is the moment. We see it all the time, wrestlers doing each other's moves, but you really don't ever see somebody pick up a win when they're doing their rival's move. I think it would be pretty fun if John Cena were to pin CM Punk with a distraction from Seth Rollins with the go-to sleep. So although my heart desperately wants CM Punk, I would happy to be wrong with my official prediction. Would be so happy to be wrong with my prediction. I have John Cena retaining the WWE Championship, and I have Seth Rollins costing CM Punk in a sense. Okay, we might as well talk about the men's King of the Ring finals matchup next because we just alluded to Cody Rhodes versus John Cena at SummerSlam. So I have Cody Rhodes beating Randy Orton in this King of the Ring finals matchup. Randy, this is the second time in as many years he has made it to the finals of the King of the Ring. And I think that might be the story coming out of this match is that Randy just can't win the big one right now, despite the fact that he is a 14-time champion, a decorated, bona fide Hall of Famer. He's kind of just running through the motions at the moment and he can't win the big one. So maybe that's his story that will start his maybe descent into becoming a heel. I think Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton is a WrestleMania worthy match. And the fact that we are doing this match at Night of Champions when both men are baby faces, it doesn't feel like this is the context for Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes to face. I would have preferred Sami Zayn make the finals so that way you could save a little bit of the allure around Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton for whenever Randy is a heel, Cody's WWE champion again. But nevertheless, it's still going to be super cool seeing the protege going up against his master, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. We know the history. It's going to be a great match, but I do not think that Randy Orton has any chance of winning. And I don't want to throw any shade or discredit the Legend Killer in any way, but let's just look at the bigger picture here. Forget Cody Rhodes for a minute. Randy Orton just fought John Cena in St. Louis at Backlash, and they dubbed it Randy Orton, John Cena one last time. Or for the last time. They said that this was going to be the final time that they were fighting each other. So just from that standpoint alone, why would you have Randy Orton win the King of the Ring tournament and go up against John Cena one-on-one? Would I like to see it? Sure, absolutely. I had so much fun with that Backlash match with Randy Orton and John Cena. Let's run it back and no R-Truth interference this time. Maybe Randy Orton could win. But that does not seem like the direction that WWE wants to go in. It feels like since WrestleMania, the objective of the John Cena heel turn was to kind of check all of the nostalgic boxes. We're going to fight Randy Orton. We're going to do a feud with R-Truth, his childhood hero, going up against R-Truth. And then we're going to have Cena go up against Punk. And then once we hit all of the glorified nostalgic boxes, then and only then will we give the WWE Championship back to Cody Rhodes. And that's the direction I think we're going in. I don't think it's a bad idea per se. I just think it's a little bit predictable, which isn't bad. When wrestling's predictable, that means it's following the story arc and the story trajectory. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I don't think Cody's a bad choice to dethrone John Cena if that is what is going to happen at SummerSlam. So back to the match, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton. I think it's going to be great, but I don't think it's going to surpass expectations. I would almost assume that Randy and Cody are going to hold back a little bit because they know, and WWE knows, in the very near future, you could have Randy as a heel, Cody as a face, just feeding families in terms of a storyline and significance of whether or not that's at WrestleMania or Royal Rumble. So I don't think you're going to see everything that Cody and Randy can do to each other in this match. I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be kind of a clean, just by the books wrestling match. So on Raw this past week, we saw Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes, very entertaining match. Cody went over clean. No shenanigans. He was just the better man. And that is what I expect is going to happen in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. I think Cody will be the better man. And I think after the fact, Randy will raise Cody's hand. He'll put him over. And Cody will be on to John Cena. Randy Orton will probably be on to Nick Aldis at SummerSlam. And what do we think about Cody Rhodes as king? I like the name King Cody. All hail King Cody. But I'd like to see him wear the crown. Last year, we didn't even see Gunther wear the crown. It kind of feels like the King of the Ring tournament is legitimately just the #1 contender tournament at this point. So let's bring back the gimmick a little bit, Cody. Scepter, giant robe, crown, something. And yes, there would be no king without his queen. The finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament will be Jade Cargill versus Asuka. And unlike the men's match, this match I find to be very, very unpredictable. I see a world where both Jade Cargill wins, and I see a world where Asuka wins. So here's the case for why Jade could win. Jade has been presented as a megastar since she debuted with the company a couple of years ago at this point. However, her in-ring work and how she has been booked has not matched that of her presentation, meaning she hasn't had dominant singles runs and she hasn't had a singles title at this point. I don't even know if she's competed for the women's championship. If WWE wants Jade to be in the upper tier of the women's division, challenging for world titles, being a singles champion, it starts with a win against Asuka here. You could have Jade win, set her up for a prominent feud going into SummerSlam, maybe Jade versus Tiffany for the title, maybe Naomi cashes in on Tiffany and you get Jade versus Naomi. Of course, we know the rivalry those two women have. Pushing Jade as a prominent figure in the women's division starts with a Queen of the Ring tournament win. Now for Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow just came back. Her winning would set up a dream match against Io Sky. The history both women have, being in Damage Control, and the in-ring work WWE know would be incredible. In my opinion, what WWE is weighing and what I am weighing currently, do you believe in Jade Cargill? Do you think Jade Cargill could be an upper women's division title contender? That's what it comes down to. And right now, I'm going to tell you, I do not. And it pains me to say that. It absolutely pains me to say that. But I saw Jade versus Roxanne Perez on Monday Night Raw. And Roxanne Perez, who is 23 years old, she's been on the main roster for a minute, was running circles around Jade. I think Jade has got a great look. I think she is a solid performer. But if you're going to put her in the main event level, I don't know if she's going to deliver. I don't want to come across as if I'm a Jade hater, but I think Asuka should win this match. You could turn Asuka heel. You've got a bona fide, awesome match that you know will deliver from an in-ring point of view. It's kind of a conservative approach to a risky approach. Jade has probably got the higher ceiling in terms of whether or not she can become that main event level talent. I'm betting against her right now. Maybe I'm wrong for doing that, but I'm going with Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, picking up the win, becoming the Queen of the Ring, and moving on against Io Sky at SummerSlam. What do you think? Next, let's talk about our second championship match, and only our second championship match. I can't believe at Night of Champions, we've only got 2 championship matches. Back in my day, every single championship was defended. Okay, that was my old man rant. Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, the United States Championship is on the line. These family members are now fighting for the gold after turning on Solo Sikoa. Solo, I hate you! And there are a couple of things that we need to look out for in this match. Solo Sikoa is going to have backup. And the question is, how much backup? Because I think if it's just JC Mateo, I think Jacob Fatu will defend the championship because in his corner, Big Jim has shown that he is willing to stand aside Fatu and fight Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso's brother, and JC Mateo. So if it's 2-on-2, I'm giving the advantage to the champion. Jacob Fatu is incredible. We've seen him wreck superstars. Yada mean. Every single match he's been in, he steals the show and he's favorited. I don't even know if he's been pinned since being on the main roster. I don't think he has. If Solo Sikoa is going to win, he is going to need some extra backup. He might get it. Hikuleo, who is brothers with Tama and Tonga, who are both on the shelf right now, has been working WWE main events match. A lot of the internet wrestling community believes that this is a way for WWE to get him ready and prepared for when he makes his main roster debut. And the only question is, when is that going to be and where is that going to be? I think Hikuleo fits in perfectly with Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo, and they form the Bloodline 3.0. It's this extra reimagined version of the Bloodline. Or maybe it's still the same Solo Sikoa Bloodline, and they're just waiting for Tama and Tonga to come back. Either way, Hikuleo works perfect with Solo Sikoa and JC Mateo. So if Hikuleo is going to debut, it doesn't make sense to debut him and have Jacob Fatu beat Solo Sikoa. Plus, Solo Sikoa has put in some incredible work as of late. Everybody remember how incredible he was in that Money in the Bank ladder match? Arguably the MVP of the match. Could it be Solo's time to finally hold singles gold in WWE? Night of Champions? I say yes. My prediction for this match is Solo Sikoa wins the United States Championship, pins Jacob Fatu with help from a debuting Hikuleo. And then you have this new faction of JC Mateo, Solo Sikoa, and Hikuleo with the United States Championship on SmackDown. Jacob Fatu can play chase for a minute, or maybe he goes after the WWE Championship or World Championship. Either way, Solo Sikoa putting a lot of great work. His moment is at Night of Champions. Finally, our boy Karrion Kross is on a premium live event. He goes up against the honorary Uce, Sami Zayn, and this match has been brewing for months and months and months. Kross has acted as the devil on Sami Zayn's shoulder, if you will, consistently nudging Zayn to do what he needs to do in order to succeed. Does that mean cheating? Does that mean being a heel? It doesn't matter at the end of the day because the ends justify the means, and that's what Karrion has been preaching to Sami Zayn, who has refused the guidance, who has refused the advice, and now it has led to a match between the two. You could argue maybe that this was Karrion Kross's plan all along to just continually manipulate and irritate Sami Zayn to the point where Sami Zayn couldn't take it anymore. He unloaded on Karrion Kross, and now we got a match. You could argue this was all a work by Karrion Kross just to get on television. For that, Karrion, I commend you. I am a huge supporter. Super excited to see you wrestling on a premium live event. But with that being said, I do not think Karrion Kross wins this match. He does not need to win this match. The fact that he is on the card speaks volumes to where he is at and where he is going, in my opinion. So let's give Sami a nice moment in front of the Saudi Arabia audience, and he can win. Sami has had a handful of big losses lately, and one of the main stories going in WWE right now is Sami Zayn's quest for a world title. So if you want to keep that story going, he needs to beat Karrion Kross, and he needs to position himself in the near future for another title opportunity. Karrion just getting on television is a win right now. We just don't want Karrion to get released. So getting him on television, getting him exposed, make sure you're loud, make sure you're repping your Kross shirts, and let's hope that these two just have a fun and entertaining match. Okay, our final match, we're going to see Raquel Rodriquez versus Rhea Ripley in a street fight. This is going to be, I think, the 6th time these two women fight each other one-on-one. So far, Rhea Ripley is 4-1 against Raquel. So do you think Rhea just has Raquel's number, or is Rodriquez due? I personally think it's the latter. And especially because this is a street fight, meaning that there is no disqualification and anything can go. So because of that, I think Raquel Rodriguez will have the advantage for this reason. On Monday Night Raw this past week, we saw Roxanne Perez step in, if you will, for Liv Morgan, who is out on the shelf. She's gone for a while, and help Raquel Rodriguez put Rhea Ripley through a table. So will that relationship pay dividends this Saturday? I think yes. Roxanne still has not been appointed the women's tag team champion with Raquel. There's some buzz that Raquel was going to have to relinquish the titles with Liv Morgan's injury. Then there was buzz Roxanne was going to step in. I think with Roxanne helping Raquel on Monday night, that is a bit of foreshadowing that Roxanne will become the new WWE women's tag team champion alongside Raquel, but also I think it means that Roxanne will help Raquel Rodriguez in this street fight beat Rhea Ripley. Rhea is a star. She could take a pin from anyone, especially a woman of the caliber of Raquel Rodriguez, and still be fine. So this is, let's call it what it is, a thrown together match. Let's make it mean something by elevating Raquel Rodriguez, shining a light on the partnership between Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez even more by having Roxanne help Raquel beat Rhea. And the Saudi people just get a great show because Rhea Ripley shows up. She's a certified badass. She's going to put on a great match, and she's just so freaking cool. So everybody wins, maybe with the exception of Rhea. But Rhea's bulletproof. She'll be back. She'll be stronger than ever. But right now, realistically, what's Rhea Ripley's story? She's not in the title picture. She's just feuding with Raquel because they have beef. So you've beaten the woman 4 times. Is beating her for a 5th time really going to help elevate Rhea Ripley any more than she already is? I don't think so. Okay, so those are my 2025 WWE Night of Champions predictions. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? Make sure you drop all of your comments below. And if you're new, subscribe and ring the bell for notifications because It's Real to Us produces some really unique and fun content that I think you will enjoy if you are a professional wrestling fan. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony the Mark, and I'll see you next time on It's Real to Us, the Wrestling Show.